Alright, here's the 411, folks. Just give him one of these.
Welcome to episode 22 of the 411, folks. My name is Scott, and I am here with a different co-host. Jake is unavailable, that bastard. I'm here with Kiarn.
Hi everyone, I'm Kiarn.
So, yeah, pretty much we're going to not really follow the same schedule of our normal show rundown today because Kiarn is here and we get to talk about different stuff that Jake has no idea about.
Yep.
So,
definitely.
Yeah, I suppose we'll start off by talking about some anime.
Yeah.
So, have you been keeping up with Dragon Ball Super?
I certainly have, Scott.
Okay. Wait, so there wasn't an episode that came out last week?
No, there wasn't. So they had a week break.
I thought I was
yes,
a week.
I thought that too.
Yeah.
That and One Piece did a break as well.
Why is that?
One Piece is because the what's his name? The writer.
Yeah.
He's actually been pretty sick at the moment. So
is
even
this the manga writer or the...
Yeah, the manga writer. So he's been pretty sick at the moment. So One Piece just had a full, I think it was 5 or 6 episodes of filler.
Yeah.
Before the next arc, and so.
Oh, so they're pretty much up to date.
They're very close. They probably have enough for about 15 or 20 episodes. Yeah. But they don't want to end up like Naruto, I'm guessing, where every 5 episodes they're having another 10 episodes of filler. So they're trying to at least space it out, and at least in One Piece, they haven't done it like flashbacks.
Yeah.
They can easily lead into a new arc.
Yeah.
But yeah, and Dragon Ball Super, I think, I'm not too sure why they had a week's break, but I guess
just taking it easy.
Taking it easy, exactly.
No, but going back to Naruto, that show is just ruined, isn't it?
Yes, I think the fact that they just tried to hang on too long was...
Is it still going?
They've gone on to Boruto now, so they're following his son.
So they've actually finished that Naruto series.
So they've finally finished Naruto.
Is it still called Naruto, though, the show?
No, I'm pretty sure it's called Boruto.
Oh, okay. I didn't know.
I haven't personally seen any of it, but I've seen like little snippets.
Yeah.
But yeah, what they did was a bit ridiculous in the sense that they were like, we just want to hang on and make as much money as possible until the end. And it was a bit like, if you knew you were going on to Boruto, you should have just gone, okay, we've finished the manga. Let's just go to the end, start the new series, rather than try to stretch it out.
Because I've read the entire manga, and I love it all. But the show, I cannot stand Shippuden. Yeah. Is it Shippuden or Shippuden? Shippuden. I cannot stand it. I love the original show when I've seen up to pretty much the fight with Gaara and just that bit. So I haven't seen all of it, but I know that the last 100 episodes of the original Naruto show is just filler.
Yep.
But that's ridiculous.
Yep. Again, they're just trying to add in space because they've caught up to the manga. And another show that did this really horribly was Bleach.
Yeah.
So what happened was, for those of you who don't know, they got up to a certain point in the story, and it was actually halfway through like a saga or an arc, basically. And they've caught up to the manga, and then they've just gone in the anime and gone, all right, start telling a whole new story in the middle of this arc, finish that story, and then go, okay, we're back here again. And then they did that about 3 or 4 times in the same arc.
And that's why people got over it.
Yes, exactly.
It had to be cancelled.
Yes, exactly. Whereas I think what Fairy Tail have done is that they've gone, all right, we've come to a point where we've hit the manga. Let's just take a year break. Let the manga go forward.
That is so good, though.
And then start again. At least then you're not getting... I mean, Fairy Tail does have its odd filler, but it's only ever, I think they've only ever had one filler arc, and that was only 10, 15 episodes.
Yeah.
Compared to Naruto's 300.
Yeah.
But yeah, back on to Dragon Ball Super. I think it started to get really good.
Oh yeah. With
bringing back Future Trunks.
Now this is because I've completely ignored everything to do with Dragon Ball GT now. Dragon Ball GT to me is just nothing anymore.
It's more like a alternate future.
Yeah,
You know
that's
what I mean?
that's
Like you
the
can
thing.
think of it as splitting off there.
Do you think that there's going to be any hints of that when they bring in the alternate parallel universe kind of things?
That could be a good idea. They could link that to.
Knowing Akira though, he's just
He's
gonna
not
be like,
going
fuck
to.
that.
Yeah, he's going to just go. Look, let's just sweep that under
Yeah,
the rug.
yeah. As soon as Battle of Gods came out in 2013,
Yes, he just went nah.
yeah,
Get rid of that.
It was pretty much straight away just because he ignored Super Saiyan 4 and went to Super Saiyan God.
God, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, now that they brought Trunks back, it is actually pretty good because I always wondered as soon as he's beaten Cell, Boo was still in the Earth. He was in the Earth for a long time, and I always wondered what has happened with Boo. And I've actually had a few people come up, like when I've been talking with people, and they've gone, "Yeah, but the timeline doesn't make sense." And I actually had a thought about this because everyone.
Getting a call mid pod.
I actually had a thought about this because it did annoy me a little bit at first because it doesn't seem right that they would have such an obvious plot hole in the thing.
Yeah, and Trunks wouldn't.
Exactly.
Trunks wouldn't be able to take Boo on himself. Like,
Yes,
it's not.
exactly.
Doesn't make sense.
So what I've actually thought is that Bibbidi, Deborah, and the consequence of all the Majin stuff.
Babbity.
Bibbidi.
Bibbidi's his father.
Bibbidi Bob. Oh yeah, it is Barbity. Sorry. Okay, yes, Barbity.
Do not test my Dragon Ball Z
Yes,
knowledge.
I know you're the worst person to test it against. But they would have only come to Earth once they've detected a strong enough power level, i.e., Super Saiyan 2.
Yeah, yeah.
But when Trunks has come back to the future, Gohan hasn't transformed in that future to Super Saiyan 2. And it's only when Trunks has finally figured out how to transform into Super Saiyan 2 that they've gone, oh shit, we've got enough power on this planet, let's go there.
Yeah.
And then, obviously, that might have taken the however many years, and finally that matches up with the timeline. And I actually have a theory about Black as well.
Okay.
And
wait, is this like a theory, or do you actually know things from the
No.
manga?
This is completely out of my head.
Okay.
I have not read ahead in the manga or anything. I'm purely just watching the anime.
All right.
So the whole point about this, right? When Boo came, remember the Supreme Kai?
Yeah.
He came to Earth because he was very, very scared of Boo because he knew something. He knew what Boo was capable of.
Yeah.
So it stands to reason when that happens in the future, he would be very worried as well, right?
Yeah.
And if you look at Black, he does have one of the Kai earrings on. Yeah. So we know he has to have something to do with the Kais, especially with the ring as well. And what I've actually thought is they've gone, okay, we're going to need the strongest person we know of. They've gone to the Kais and they've gone Goku straight away.
But Goku's dead.
Exactly. They've taken Goku over to the Supreme Kai world and have attempted an earring fusion with him, not being alive. So you have an alive person fusing with a dead person.
Right.
And something has gone wrong there.
Okay.
In that sense.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay? Because basically it happened like he just killed Deborah and Barbity. And then Black appeared. So something had to have been going on with around that time.
It's definitely to do with fusion because of the one earring.
And the Kais, obviously.
Yeah. So he's and the clothes sort of match the Kai's clothes.
It also sort of matches Vegeto's clothes if you think about it.
Yeah.
Because it's the But
well, I guess this sort of the sneak peek of next episode, you see it hints at this is the guy that has fused with Goku, but
it's in a parallel universe.
But Black looks like Goku. He doesn't look like anybody else. It's not like a fusion where he looks like both characters.
Yes, I know, but that's what I'm saying. Maybe just when you've fused a dead person and a live person, maybe just things don't meld properly. Yeah. So you might get the mind of actually someone else coming in.
So, wait, Goku in the Buu saga, he didn't fuse with anyone while he was still dead?
No, because remember, Vegeta.
Yeah, Vegeta was dead as well. That's true.
But he wasn't in... Maybe because he wasn't in Otherworld. He was brought back to life by Baba for 1 day. Yeah, for 1 day. So you could maybe get around that. So you could say, yes, technically he's alive.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's just my theory. Or maybe you're not supposed to fuse with the Kai because... Kibito Shin was still a fusion between two Kais. It could be something around that. That's just my theory anyway.
Well, what do you think of Black? Like, do you like him as a villain or...
I like him as a villain.
But would you rather, you're like a brand new
No.
an original villain rather than someone who looks just like Goku.
I'm actually really happy because I reckon this is a good opportunity for Vegeta to actually
Yes,
fight Goku.
and kill
Finally,
Goku. Yeah.
yes, finally. I've been waiting since episode whatever when Vegeta came down.
Yeah.
Had the most epic fight with Goku. Then Super Saiyans came along. Yes,
I can't remember.
time for them to fight.
Did Vegeta kill Frieza?
No, he never did. Even in
Goku
Revival
took
of F.
that. Yeah,
Goku took the kill.
And he was like,
Yeah.
again, yeah.
Exactly,
Yeah.
and especially with the addition of Super Saiyan Blue with Kaioken,
Yeah.
I think Vegeta's gotten really underpowered. I mean, forgetting about everyone else in the universe being extremely underpowered. I'm sorry.
No, sorry. just checking the other level.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, I think it's just at least a bit more to give Vegeta a bit more of an edge, I guess.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah.
I don't know. That was the one thing that disappointed me. Like, because you know that whole scene where on Namek, Frieza is just torturing Vegeta, like
Yeah.
absolutely torturing, punching him in the back, and then just torturing him until he dies. I just wanted that same thing to happen to Frieza from Vegeta. I wanted Goku to stay out of it.
Good.
Because it's more. I don't know. It would have been. There's more value of having Vegeta have that moment to kill Frieza rather than Goku
just
doing
jumping
it,
in.
Yeah. So that kind of annoyed me. But with Super, it's so much. It's so good having Trunks come back because these are things that these last 3 episodes are things that I've imagined.
Yes,
of
exactly.
what would happen if Trunks would come back. These are things that I've imagined since I was a kid and watched the show. And it's finally playing out.
Exactly.
I thought the last episode was hilarious. Like when he had
Gohan.
dinner with Gohan. It was
Yes. The only thing, and I still have not figured this out, is Mai.
Yeah, well, hold on. Let's just back up because I don't understand how they're all kids again. Well,
They were all kids because they wished for youth again. So
but when? When did that happen?
that it was off screen, basically. It was basically, I think it might have been in Boo arc, maybe they've wished for it.
Was that ever explained?
No. Oh, I think maybe in when they were going over Battle of the Gods. I think it was in Battle of the Gods movie. When you see them,
Yeah.
they say, "Why did you wish for youth
okay.
again?"
Yeah.
It wasn't elaborated on,
Yeah,
but they
yeah.
basically just said, "Look, we've wished for youth again."
Yeah.
But the only thing I can't get my head around, because anyone who hasn't watched Dragon Ball, basically, you won't understand this, but Mai, Pilaf, and Shu, the dog, blue guy, and the girl, were all the main villains, basically, in the first arc of Dragon Ball.
Yeah.
And Mai, in particular, was an adult, or maybe at least a teen to an adult.
Yeah.
Okay? So if you follow it, say in Trunks' timeline, yes, that all happens. But say if they only wished for youth 10 years before Battle of the Gods, that would still maybe put them in Android Saga. Or Cell Saga.
But you were saying sort of they've wished for youth around Battle of Gods.
They might have. But I'm saying, let's say they went back as far back as, say, 10 years to around the Android Saga. And they wished for youth then.
Yeah.
It still doesn't match the timeline for Mai, because first of all, they can't wish for youth because Piccolo is dead. There's no Dragon Balls. How can she go from an adult back to a teenager with no Dragon Balls? It just doesn't fit in the timeline. And I'm hoping they at least explain a little bit. Like, she might have, like what Master Roshi did, he drunk water that made him not being able to die from age. So
But
she might have
Master
drunk
Roshi still sort of ages physically, doesn't he?
No, basically at the age he is now, he doesn't really age much more.
Yeah.
So he's like 900 years old or something like that, something
yeah.
ridiculous. So it could just be as simple as she drunk some water. That
There are lots of sort of plot holes in the story. They didn't ever explain the blue hair, like Resurrection of F. They didn't explain it at all, and I was sort of waiting because I knew at that time there was going to be a show based on this, right? But it just happened in the show as well with no explanation.
Yeah.
What
I've read about that is that even they sort of allude to it a little bit in Battle of the Gods, actually. So when they go into the Super Saiyan God transformation, you actually see just before he goes into Super Saiyan God, Goku, instead of his aura being red, it flashes blue. So basically what people have said, and I'm not too sure if he's confirmed it or not, Akira Toriyama, but they're saying that the Super Saiyan God that Goku achieved at the start was an incomplete form. So he transformed really quickly into Super Saiyan Blue, basically, but then fell. So he went up and then fell a little bit into what we now know as Super Saiyan God. So when he's completed, like when he's fought Beerus and all that, he's gained a little bit of the God power, so he knows how to ascend there.
Yeah.
So maybe he just figured out how to complete Super Saiyan God.
One way that it was explained to me is that the red form was the God form when you actually, hold hands with all the Saiyans.
Take all the other Saiyans' powers.
The other form, the blue form, is how you can achieve it by yourself.
By yourself, yeah.
Because Vegeta never did that,
yes.
and he achieved it by himself, which is he's blue. So Goku must have achieved it by himself as well.
Exactly. So. But on that respect, I actually think Goku would have had an easier time because he would have experienced the power before. So he would have been able to at least go, here's my measure.
The way that you said it, that doesn't really make sense, because if the red form wasn't a complete God form, he was still sort of on par with Beerus.
Yes.
If he was gone blue, he should be a lot stronger than Beerus.
We've never seen him fight Beerus, though. We've seen a little snippet of him fighting Beerus. Did he go Super Saiyan Blue, though?
He's never gone Super Saiyan Blue while fighting Beerus.
Exactly.
Right.
So we don't actually know his power against Beerus. And especially with Kaioken times 10
we know Whis is just like...
Oh, ridiculously powered, yes.
Like, yeah. Because they always train with Whis. But yeah, Beerus has never fought since.
Yes, we've never seen Beerus actually fight Goku.
It's just so strange how, Beerus and Whis have become these characters, these sort of comic relief characters now.
Yes,
They're just there in all these...
They're actually... And I think this is wise what Toriyama has done, is they've taken on modern aspects of modern day anime and brought it into Dragon Ball Super, but have still kept the core aspects of what we loved about Dragon Ball Z. And I think it's really brilliant because they still bring in the little tidbits of comedy and stuff like that. And even I actually just recently bought all of Dragon Ball, and
recently?
Yes, only like
Kiarn.
a week ago. So actually all of Dragon Ball is fresh in my mind because I just today actually finished Goku beating Piccolo.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
So
I watched
Piccolo
it
Jr.
a couple years ago.
Yeah.
Recently, yeah. So.
And even while watching Dragon Ball, they still have all this comedy aspect that I actually didn't realize was in it.
Yeah.
And it's actually interesting because it does seem like an anime that wasn't written or like made 20 years
that
ago.
That was made in the 80s, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, the book was written in the 80s, and like it just doesn't seem like it was made then. It seems like it was at least made 10 years ago.
Well ahead of its time, I think.
Yeah.
That's why it was so popular.
Yeah, that's it. That's the brilliant thing about it.
The thing that I hated about GT was, well, if you've seen the original first episodes, they literally tried to copy exactly the original Dragon Ball. And then they realized that's not working. And then
even down to the uniform Goku was wearing.
Yeah. And also, exact episode plots as well. You know how the Dragon Ball episode, how the Oolong...
Yes, the transforming... Yeah.
The exact same thing happened in GT.
Yeah.
But they realized that didn't work. That didn't work at all. So they
went on to Baby.
And it just turned really dark.
Yes.
And they lost all sort of sense of what Dragon Ball Z is, which is lots of comedy.
Yeah.
As well as, what...
Proper fighting.
There's lots of scenes in Dragon Ball Z and Dragon Ball, and even in Super now, of just Earth itself and animals and, life, water and everything. But GT...
Just desolate land.
Yeah. So that's what they lost in GT, and I think that... Because, I mean, it was an American making the show, so...
I mean, to be honest... I like probably Baby. I actually kind of liked the Baby arc, the latter half. Super 17.
I enjoyed the original where it started, how you saw Vegeta fight and Piccolo fight and Gohan fight and even Goten grown up fight. That was interesting.
Yeah.
But
I did, however, although I'm a bit biased to this because I was a kid when I saw GT.
Yeah.
I do like the Dragon arc. So when all the Dragon Balls turn into the dragons. I did sort of like that, and they sort of came full circle again. Akira Toriyama was writing this final arc, so it sort of makes a bit more sense, but it came full circle with Goku actually becoming part of Shenron.
Well, I have to say the last episode of Dragon Ball GT is amazing.
Mm.
I've got to say that. It was a really good ending to the entire
Yes.
series.
And it was nice that it came full circle.
Yeah, yeah.
I would have even been happy if Goku just became Kami, the god. Basically.
Yeah. Well, he was
Because,
originally
yes,
asked
in Dragon Ball.
Ball,
He
yeah.
was asked to become Kami, and yeah, he just basically said, "Screw that."
Yeah.
Bye."
I'm out for adventure, you know,
Yeah.
like that'd be so boring for him.
It would have been nice though. They could. I love the ending, how they did it. They could have easily gone, look, Goku becomes Guardian of Earth.
They could have done that in Dragon Ball and then show's
Yes.
over. You know?
Yeah.
And that would have been
What
actually a
shame.
really good ending.
It would have been a great ending,
Yeah.
but
Goku
now that
becomes
we've
this god, you know.
yeah.
Yeah.
Now that we've seen Dragon Ball Z,
Yeah,
what
yeah.
a shame it would
Yeah,
have
yeah.
been. I mean, and taken back to Super now, I am so glad that they have gone away from Super Saiyan 1, 2, 3. Okay? And
Yeah.
I've seen comments on Facebook and the internet basically that go, oh, sweet, we're going to be getting Super Saiyan God 2, Super Saiyan God 3, like Super Saiyan Blue 2 and 3. And I'm like, please don't do that.
But how can they get stronger?
I know that, but I don't want them to just go back to, oh, okay, I'm fighting. I'll go Super Saiyan 1, test it out.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
no,
Oh,
it's not
yeah.
going to happen. Super Saiyan
Super
2,
Saiyan 2.
fight it out.
Yeah.
And then, okay, no, I need to go full strength Super Saiyan 3. Okay? And it just sort of, like, by the time Boo arc, the final fight, it went in that order, basically. It was like, okay, let's test him a bit more. And then let's go full power. And I don't know. And that's the brilliant thing I loved, like, the whole time in Dragon Ball Z, basically, from Vegeta Saga, which is my second favourite saga.
Yeah.
First being Frieza, purely because just that moment, Super Saiyan.
You
shocked
can't
everyone.
beat that.
You can't beat that. But I wanted to see Kaioken again. Because
Yes.
it was brilliant
Yeah.
what they did. And I've always wanted to see that back again, and they just never did it again.
It's just they forgot about it, you know, like-
Krillin used it once,
Yeah.
but yeah, they never used it again. Or maybe Yamcha did, one of the two, because when they trained with King Kai. But yeah, and when they brought it back, I was like, yes, finally, they've got some bit more, like,
Because it makes sense. Like,
Yeah.
it doubles your power, 10 times your power. Like,
100 times, exactly. And it also makes it seem like there's risk and reward in it.
yeah.
You know what? You go too far, you get the backlash of it. And whereas Super Saiyan is just transform, I'm this much stronger. There's no, like, you know what I mean? There's no back and forth. Like, I transform into a Super Saiyan, I'm 10 times stronger than I was before. I don't need to train to do this or anything. Whereas Goku now actually needs to train again to be able to control Kaioken times 10, times 20, times 30, again and again and again to get stronger and stronger and stronger.
It makes it more interesting as well.
Yeah.
Because you know his body is just getting fucked up.
Yes, exactly.
You know, how long can he
even when he
last?
was fighting Hit, he was like, okay, I can only withstand this for maybe 10 minutes. And even that, it's only, what did he say, like 50% chance or maybe like a 20% chance it'll actually work. So, it just gave that element to, I don't know, all the different fights.
Yeah.
Like, he has this limited time frame to use this move, whereas Super Saiyan, he just kept over the whole fight. And you know, okay, once he's transformed into Super Saiyan 2, for example, he's not getting off that.
Yeah.
Whereas, like, he's like, Kaioken times 10. Okay, I can hold this for 5 minutes. I got to get everything done now, otherwise I'm gone.
Yeah.
And it also gives a little bit of leeway a bit with the fight that he could have with Vegeta, actually, because this is going back to Dragon Ball Z Season 1, when Goku used Kaioken on Vegeta. He goes, ooh, I've seen this technique before, I've encountered it, and I've learned how to deal with it. So if he can incorporate the way to deal with it into Super Saiyan Blue, you've got an epic fight on your hand between Goku and Vegeta. Never mind Black, okay, again.
But do you want to see another sort of fight? Like, we've seen that in the Boo saga, and do
Yes, but
you see that
again,
coming?
in the Boo saga, did Goku ever really use his full power?
Goku was Super Saiyan 3 at that time.
Yes, but
So-
he only used Super Saiyan 2, I think.
yeah.
Yeah.
So he wasn't, it wasn't a true fight
fight.
between,
But now they've finally become almost next to equals.
Yeah.
Whereas the whole Dragon Ball Z, Vegeta's been tailing Goku, going, I need to get up to him. And he's finally almost there.
Almost there, yeah. Well, that's what it seems like. We don't know
Yeah,
for sure, but it seems
exactly.
like
And that's what I think. If he can incorporate the way he figured out to deal with a technique like Kaioken or adapt it to Kaioken, then they're finally neck and neck. And that will be the perfect fight.
Yeah.
It'll Dragon Ball Z Season 1 all over again.
Yeah.
And again, it is a bit of a rehash on the story, but in this sense, it's not actually a fight to kill Goku. It's just a fight to test their strength.
Who's stronger?
Yeah. Okay.
Once and for all, finish. Yeah.
Once and for all. And even if they ended Super on that, I would be happy.
Yeah, yeah.
If they just ended...
Because they ended on a Dragon Ball on a saga with Goku and Chi-Chi going
Yeah.
on an adventure. You know, they can end just with a... You know, they've finished fighting all the enemies and everything. Okay, Goku and Vegeta just get together. Let's just find out
Even
who's stronger.
in the Galactic Tournament, like... not the Galactic Tournament, the... Universal Tournament.
Yeah.
Even when it goes to, okay, Goku, Vegeta beat everyone, basically. And then they go, well, that was one-sided. Let's test you against you. The Grand King, basically. I forget his name.
Is this the guy that came at the end?
Yeah,
the
the
small
king.
dude?
The little small dude goes, I want to see you fight you.
Yeah.
And then all out.
Yeah.
Even, yeah, I reckon that would be an interesting end. And...
Well, do you think Dragon Ball Super will end with the Universe Tournament?
I don't think so. I think they've scheduled 100 episodes to Dragon Ball Super.
Yeah, I heard about the 100 episodes, but by the time they finish whatever saga they're up to now, and then they start the Universe Tournament, it could be pretty much up.
Again, though, they are adapting a lot of common anime practices into Dragon Ball Super. And one of the biggest common anime practice is seasons of anime usually only ever last 12 episodes. Which, I mean, if you look back at Battle of the Gods, that was only 12 episodes. Frieza was about 12 episodes. The tournament was about 12 episodes. 12-ish. Okay? I think they might do, like, maybe a double with Black, so 24 episodes.
Yeah.
But I'm not too sure if they'll go beyond that. They might need to. They might do a proper Dragon Ball Z and make it go on for a long time. Which is interesting, actually. As a kid, I remember going back as an adult watching this, it is not the same. I've gotten up to, what was it? Freezer arc. I remember Freezer arc when I was a kid. That went on. That felt like it went on.
Just so long.
Goku normally fighting Goku. I felt that went on, or just when he was holding up the Spirit Bomb. I felt that went on for like 3 episodes when I was a kid. And I watch it, and it's like an episode, and I'm like, what?
But everyone went on about how long that was.
Yeah.
But I miss those sagas that went on for 3 whole seasons.
It was good.
Androids and Cell together was like over 100 episodes, or
Yes.
it was 100 episodes. I miss that. But now, like you said, they're like 12 episode things.
Yeah.
Like, what do you prefer?
mean, for Battle of the Gods and Frieza, I reckon they should have been... Primarily, I reckon they shouldn't have done them.
Yeah.
They should have kept 24 episodes. They could have had the 24 episodes to put in, or 12 episodes for the tournament saga, and then had those extra 12 episodes to go on about Black. Or something different.
The 2 movies should have been said that's... what's it called? That's canon.
Yeah.
You have to watch those to understand sort of what's going on.
If the only thing I would have liked, if they... Either, like, I would have been happy if they did. If they elaborated on Whis training Goku and Vegeta.
Yeah.
I would have been happy if they had, 2 episodes.
And that's another thing. They don't... They used to sort of spend a lot of time on training episodes, but they seem to skip that over
Especially in
now.
Dragon Ball.
Yeah. Dragon Ball, yeah. I mean, when he trained with Kami and...
Kiarn, Master Roshi.
Yeah, they spent a lot of time training.
Yeah.
But, they don't do that anymore.
No. And, I mean, it's a bit of a shame. But I can see why they're not doing it, because I don't think many people would tune in nowadays to watch it. I mean, I personally would, and I know you would.
Well, how well is it doing? We don't know how well it's doing. That's what my big question. Why hasn't it... If it was doing... If it was a phenomenon, like a comeback for Dragon Ball, it would be here already. It would be in English. But it's not. And there's no plans to do it yet.
They could just be waiting for all of it to be done to release it in like a Dragon Ball set.
Oh, I hope so. I don't
Yes,
want to be buying
that would be
10
good.
episodes at a time.
Yes, I know, and you know me.
Yeah.
I've got stacks and stacks and stacks
Yeah,
and
yeah.
stacks and stacks.
You got to learn to wait.
Yes, and I have been actually.
Fairy Tale. I've got the 2 collections. You know how they come out 50,
Yes.
50 episodes. So there's the collection of 3 and 4 out now. I stupidly bought the 4 separate DVDs for collection 3, which
Yeah.
I think I'm going to get collection 3 anyway, just to have.
Yeah, them nice and
Yeah,
flush.
yeah.
But yeah, collection 4 for you will just fit in nice.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, I've got 1, 2, and then I've just bought all the rest.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I mean, at the moment, I'm in the middle of collecting One Piece, which, as you know, is ridiculously long.
See, I'm waiting.
But even with that, I'm restraining myself. I'm only buying, like, I'm not going out and going, all right, I'll get the 10 collections of One Piece or something.
Yeah.
I'm only ever going, I'm in a shop and I go, oh, yeah, I'll pick one up. Or, like, if it's only ever from there. But
See, Dragon Ball is such an old show that the entire series now is in 2 collections.
Yes.
Dragon Ball Z is not as old, but it's still really old, and now it's all in 9 seasons.
Yes.
See,
But
a show like...
well, obviously they couldn't compress all that into 2 collections. That's just
Yeah, that's right.
massive.
But a show like Naruto is sort of has just ended, so maybe if you wait a few more years down the track, it will come out.
They've brought out. It's the first 16 of Naruto. It's all in a box.
It's all in a box. But is that still 16 separate DVDs, or
Yes.
have they cut it down to just 8?
No, I'm pretty sure it's all 16.
See,
They need to. Yes,
They need to do just
with
season
Naruto,
1 to 8. With
they
the
need to
original
cut
Naruto.
out. I think it's 9. They go up to.
But they don't even need to cut out anything. They just
No,
need
they
to,
just need to drop off the last couple of. collections.
Well, that's you don't
essentially
need
it.
to watch that.
Yeah.
But I just think that they need to put more episodes onto a disc,
Yeah, pretty much.
because you can easily cut that. Pretty much, instead of having 16 DVD collections, you can have 8 and
Yes.
have season 1, 2, 3, all the way to 8, and that's the original Naruto series.
Or even just chuck 4 discs in a collection.
Yeah, yeah.
Which is there's a lot better ways to do things than what they do, and
I think for me to buy Naruto, I need to wait for something like that to happen.
yes,
For them to sort of sell it,
in a huge collection.
because the collection they said it's still $380.
Yes, anime is notorious for being expensive.
It's ridiculous.
Yes,
You buy 12 episodes for $50.
yeah. But you also think about it, it actually costs a tremendous amount of money to make an anime. Just one episode. What did I read? It was a couple of, I think it might have been like $20,000 to make one episode of anime. And these guys are making 12. And it actually makes sense when there's so many series out there that just have 12 episodes, leave on a cliffhanger, and you never see it again.
Yeah.
And I hate it when that happens, because you get engrossed in a world and you really want to keep engaging with it, and you are, and you're getting really happy and interested in what's happening, which is kind of why I like Dragon Ball Super or Dragon Ball Naruto. They're so long, you can actually just get immersed in the world and watch it all fall through. But like in a 12 episode series, they do a good job of compressing all what Naruto had, what was it, about 600 episodes?
Yeah.
They compress a lot of that into 12 episodes, all the experience, and it's really good.
Because you watch a lot of series, little series.
Yes,
you know? Yeah.
I do. And when it comes to an end, you're like, okay, sweet, I'm really hyped for the next series.
Yeah.
And it's sort of a gamble whether you're going to get another series or not. And it's a real shame that it's like that, because some of these stories are just brilliantly told or just really innovative, and it's a shame that they just get cut off in the middle. And they could have been really great, but yeah, they just sort of, I know what they're trying to do. That what they do is they put out the 12 episodes of anime to get people hooked to keep reading the manga. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
And I've done that before, actually. I have... What was I watching? Can't remember what I was watching. Oh, that's right. Akame ga Kill. I watched the 25 episodes. I'm not going to spoil anything about it if you guys are wondering, but I will say this: be prepared if you watch that anime. It is pretty violent and very graphic, and so if you're thinking, oh yeah, this is a nice, fun anime, it's pretty graphic. If you want
something similar to Pokemon, and
yes, definitely not like Pokemon. That's for sure. I watched the 25 episodes, and that did finish, and I was happy with that. And then I decided, you know what? I'm just going to have a look at the manga, see what it was like. I looked at the manga on my phone. It was still going, and I'm like, how can that be? The story ended. And this happens with a lot of animes too. The anime will be correct with the manga for about 10, 15 episodes.
Yeah, they always start off good.
Yeah, they always start off following the manga, and it's really good. And it starts to deviate.
Yeah.
And sometimes you can't tell when it's happening if you just watch the manga. Watch the anime, sorry. Yeah, and it just does a complete 180. Another example of that is Hellsing. I personally have never watched the first series of Hellsing because I read online that after the first 3 episodes, the story was completely different from the anime, the manga. And then they released Hellsing Ultimate, which they actually followed the manga to the T, which was good because the manga is how the story's supposed to be told.
Yes, yeah.
And
that's why I can't stand filler.
Yes, exactly. It wasn't written into the story. And when you introduce filler, I know there's a reason for people introducing filler because they've caught up to the manga.
Well, sometimes it's good because you find out more things about the characters that you didn't know.
Yeah. But often, it's not the writer of the manga writing the filler.
Yeah.
It's just because he's more preoccupied with his actual story.
With the manga, yeah.
Yeah. It's often not him. So it's just someone going, okay, let's go. And half the time you end up getting huge contradictions in your storylines or something just not matching up.
But how does it work? Does the writer of the show sort of liaise with the manga writer? Or?
Yeah. Obviously, I've never been in one of these studios, so I don't...
Kiarn,
I don't know.
I brought you here
I'm sorry.
because you should know.
I'm sorry. I'd say there's a bit of liaising going on, but when it comes to filler, I'm not too sure because half the time it just doesn't seem like. Okay, it's either written by someone else just to fill in the gap, or it's done in such a hastily job by the writer just to go, okay, here's 10 episodes of anime that you can just fill here. Okay, here's the quick storyline, just go through it. And it could just be done in such a rush that there's no depth to it, you know what I mean? And it's easy just to, something you've been building up for the whole series, to turn a 180 on it in that 10 episodes and then go back. So, yeah, it's a bit annoying in that sense.
Then what are your thoughts on... See, I'm a bit too minded about this. What are your thoughts on Dragon Ball Kai? I can't watch Dragon Ball Kai just because I'm in love with the original Dragon Ball Z series. I love the music is a lot better, and also just because I grew up watching it, I love Dragon Ball Z filler.
Yes.
But what are your thoughts on Dragon Ball Kai? Have you seen the whole series?
I actually haven't seen an episode of Dragon Ball. I think I've seen one episode of Dragon Ball Kai.
Yeah.
I like the idea of taking the episodes and bringing the drawings up to date.
Yeah.
I reckon that is a brilliant idea.
But there were some snippets where you could clearly see
that they just remastered it.
Or they're like completely new drawings, and then it switches back to the old drawings but remastered. Yes. There was a noticeable difference you could tell there.
Yeah. And I'm all for that idea, but I think you need to be cautious when you're doing that, because especially something like if it was an old 12 episode anime, you can be a little bit more lenient, but something as iconic as Dragon Ball Z, which started a generation. It started Naruto, Bleach, One Piece. It started all of this.
Yeah. We wouldn't have anything if it wasn't for Dragon Ball Z.
You need to be very careful with how you approach it, because one small slip up and you've suddenly got chaos. And
have you seen the Gohan transformation in the Cell Saga?
No. Oh, yes, I have, I think.
Just on I've seen it on YouTube.
I think I've seen it.
They've gone for the more silent, eerie approach rather than Dragon Ball Z.
It was, the moment.
And this huge music and everything and yelling and everything, but this is more silent and really dramatic kind
See,
of thing. This
they
is
they can't. What I think they should have done, kept all the music,
Yes.
kept all the audio,
Yep.
and just redrawn it all.
yes,
Because
And that's
and
my-
just fit the mouths
Yep.
to what they are saying, because that would have just been brilliant.
Mm-hmm.
And the voices and everything, you'd still associate it with your childhood and
Mm.
your nostalgia and everything like that. And that's a huge part of Dragon Ball Z. You were brought up with it as a kid. You lived in that world as a kid. I mean,
it's not the same without the music.
yes.
And the voices,
even the
Gohan's
voices.
voices changed. Cell's voices changed.
I even remember, this was a good year ago now, when you came over to my house to borrow something.
Yeah.
And you were talking about the Oceanic
Yeah.
dub
yeah,
of Dragon Ball
yeah.
Z. And I'd never heard of this. I just watched the collections that Madman had brought
Yeah.
out. And you played, what was it, Jason Berta.
Yeah.
And the second you played that for me, took me instantly back to my childhood
Yeah.
and going, how did I associate what Madman have done and Funimation with that voice
Yeah.
to my childhood? They were completely different.
Completely.
Like, Jace
Like-
obviously was Australian.
So for those people who don't know, the Oceanic dub was, I think it went up to pretty much the Jason Berta part, or
It went all the way to Frieza.
So it's, I think it's the original 100 episodes or
Yeah.
something. So there was an original dub before the actual other people came in. Everybody's voices were different. Goku's voice, Vegeta's voice, the music was completely different.
Yeah.
And
Everyone would remember Dragon, Rock the Dragon.
oh yeah,
all
yeah.
of that.
That's all Oceanic dub.
all Oceanic dub.
If you type it in YouTube and Oceanic dub Dragon Ball Z, you will go right back to your childhood.
Exactly back.
The music, the background music, like it was nothing epic or anything, but it's just this continuous sort of melody music
Yeah.
that they just play, and it's just like, oh my god, that is my childhood.
Exactly.
Like-
Well, obviously, if you live in Australia.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, true.
But yeah, so like even for me now watching Dragon Ball Z, especially Dragon Ball Super, I'm watching it all in Japanese, and as everyone is.
Yeah, yeah.
And actually,
Are
you're
the-
going to
are
find
they-
this,
Are these the real voices from
Yes.
Dragon Ball? Okay.
and you're going to find this a bit controversial, but I actually watched all of Dragon Ball in Japanese as well, because I've actually become accustomed to Goku's voice in Japanese.
Yeah.
And listening to Goku as a kid in Japanese, it all makes sense what his voice sounds like. Every single thing makes sense.
Really?
Yes. Like, when I heard it in Japanese, I thought, why is this powerful, amazing, super strong guy's
Why does he
voice
sound like a-
so high?
And- yeah,
you listen
yeah.
to him as a kid, makes complete sense. Light switch.
So
on.
why? Tell me.
It's just, it was his voice as a kid. It never really, it just, you need to watch it to experience.
He's a free.
He's
spirit,
a free
yeah.
spirit. Exactly. And okay, I can't really explain it. You just
Yeah, you
watch
just
the
gotta watch it,
first, even just the first 5 episodes, I think it is.
You see, but the Japanese dub, the music and everything, and the sound effects are not as remastered as the English
Yes,
dub.
I know they're not,
And
because
it's
they
so
didn't remaster
old.
the audio.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Even though the Dragon Ball Z Japanese dub is so hard to listen to, just because
Yes,
it's so old.
Because I actually tried to, what was it? I tried to watch, when Black came on, I went to rewatch Android Saga.
the orange boxes.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I went to rewatch Android Saga with Trunks coming into it, obviously skipping the Garlic Jr. filler because, yeah, I have mixed feelings about that. And I put on Japanese audio just not to, when I'd watch that, Trunks
Yeah.
in English, then I'd watch Super in Japanese and get, conflicting things. And which is another weird thing I've got to talk about in a minute. But I couldn't do it in Japanese because I don't know what it is. I don't know if it was, first of all, I've seen Dragon Ball Z probably too many times.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was just, I don't know. Again, it could be that thing of a childhood going, that's not what it's supposed to be.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
just might be messing with
Well,
me.
well, that's the same thing with Kai. I couldn't do it because
And that's
yeah.
what I'm actually going on to now. Now that I've finished Dragon Ball, I'm going to run through Dragon Ball Z all in Japanese and try to, sort of
Yeah.
get it in that way.
The thing the only reason I tried out Dragon Ball Z in Japanese was because the subtitles, they say completely different things.
Yeah.
So because the way they dub it, they have to sort of try and match up the mouths the best they can.
Yeah.
So it's like a different show sometimes when you're watching
Yes. And the other reason why I find a lot of people I have talked to who do watch anime like myself and you, only watch in Japanese. And that is because they find that the Japanese voices actually fit the character a lot better. Now, for a series, like I started watching Naruto all in English when I started. And it's ingrained into my head now, Naruto's voice. If I started watching that in Japanese, I wouldn't be able to do it. I couldn't stand it. And it's exactly the same for Dragon Ball Z. I watched it all in English. I'm accustomed to the voices. But
Super, you got no choice.
yeah, okay, there's a...
But sometimes in Super, I'm imagining what their voices would sound like.
Exactly. But for, say, Fairy Tail and One Piece... Okay, Bleach I watch in English, but for those two, I watched them all in Japanese. Okay? And One Piece, I've got another mixed feelings about the English version compared to... No, not mixed feelings. Strong hatred against the dubbed voices of One Piece just because they do not match the character at all.
You're one of those people.
No. And it's also another thing associated with my childhood when I watched One Piece as a child. Because 4Kids did that at that point, and 4Kids were notorious for censoring the crap out of everything.
Yeah.
A sword was turned into a plastic toy.
Yeah.
A gun was turned into a water pistol. A cigarette was just photoshopped out of someone's mouth, but they still had the smoke coming out.
Yeah.
So, as a child, I watched that, and it destroyed my reputation for One Piece, and I never wanted to see it again. Even as an adult, people were going, One Piece is amazing, One Piece is amazing. And I said, no, complete shit. Go away. And it was only when I sort of ran out of things to watch, I went, oh, I just want something long to watch. I've already seen Dragon Ball Z, Naruto, One Piece, not One Piece, Fairy Tail, and Bleach. And I thought, all right, I'll give it a go. And I thought,
it a go.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah,
1,000 episodes. Yeah, I'll give it a go.
And I started watching it in Japanese just to go, all right, I'll take away all the voice perceptions from when I was a kid, just not to associate it with then, and maybe it might change it. And first of all the censorship was different, and it was amazing. Obviously, because 4Kids tore it to shreds. But now, if I ever listen to One Piece in English, the voices actually do not match the character at all. What they were going for in the Japanese dub is because, first of all, they've got the actual writer there to go, how do you want this guy to sound? And he actually sits in and listens to the voice actors when they're hiring them as well. But yeah, I just find it fits the character, especially Luffy. He's an idiot, basically. Everyone knows he's just the complete idiot. And for those of you who don't know, if you've seen Dragon Ball Super, Luffy's actually the voice of Krillin. So if you've heard Krillin's voice,
Japanese,
yes, Japanese. So it actually fits in.
Wow,
nice
he got a good gig, didn't he?
Yes. There's actually a lot of crossovers between Dragon Ball Z and One Piece with the voice acting.
Yeah.
And it frustrates me a little bit when I'm watching Super, because I'll hear a voice and I'll go, I know that voice. Where is it from? Who is it from? And eventually I don't want to stop watching the episode.
Would have associated that voice with Krillin because they seen Krillin first.
Yes, but if you didn't watch it, because I watched One Piece in Japanese first, I went, oh, Krillin is Luffy's voice. Yeah. So yeah, again, it just depends on the order you saw it in.
Well, that's like you didn't know that.
You said Jaco's voice was Natsu's voice.
Yeah.
But that was because I only watched it in Japanese, and I tried to watch it in English, and again, I couldn't do it because I find that it might not. It's actually just also an association. You associate so much with a voice.
Yeah.
A voice becomes iconic in a sense, and you love it to death so much.
Some episodes of Pokemon, there Goku, Sean Shamel, who plays Goku, is in Pokemon, and he's tried to alter his voice a bit,
but you can still hear
in the scenes when he yells. It's like, that's Goku.
Yeah.
You know,
and that's the other thing in anime done in America. There's a lot more limited voice actors that do anime, and I was watching Sword Art Online, and then what was the other thing I started watching? I started watching something else, and it was the same voice. And I absolutely loved Sword Art Online to death. And I know a lot of people disagree with me with that. And to them, I say each to their own. But I absolutely loved it, and I associated the voice of Kirito, the main character, to that whole thing. And it was basically almost exactly after I watched Sword Art Online. I started watching another series. His voice was in it, and I went, nah, can't do it. And that is actually the moment I switched to Japanese, because I associated so strongly with this guy's voice, and I started watching something else, and it was exactly the same. And I'm like, no, I can't listen to this guy speak like that in this whole other universe. So I jumped over to Japanese, and again, there are a lot of crossovers in Japanese, but I find it is still a bit more stretched, and they have a bit more creativity in their voices. They do play around with it as well. But yeah, I mean, again, I guess there's a lot of perception behind a voice. Yeah.
Well, to finish off our topic of anime, I just want to end it with Dragon Ball Super. I've got 2 problems with Dragon Ball Super,
Okay.
The first problem is that we still haven't seen... I know you didn't want... You don't like the Super Saiyan 1, 2, 3 thing. But we still haven't seen Vegeta in Super Saiyan 3.
Yeah, okay.
And I really thought he was going to transform into Super Saiyan 3 on that cruise ship.
Yes, okay.
So he was getting really angry with Beerus, and he was... it was alluding into something, but that didn't happen. So what are your thoughts on this? Do we need to see Vegeta in Super Saiyan 3?
I reckon we do.
We have
just to complete it.
Yeah.
Because
it doesn't make
even
sense.
in GT, I hated it so much that he went from Super Saiyan 2 to 4.
Yeah. Well, he sort of cheated to go to 4.
Yeah, but he jumped.
Yeah.
And even in Super, he's still jumping from 2 to God. It doesn't feel like it flows in natural progression. As it does with Goku. He achieves every single form. And I mean, I guess he is the main character.
It's not even talked about, though, No,
it's not. And I reckon it would just be great to, at least, even in the tournament arc, when Beerus was fighting old Champers fighters, it would have been great when he was fighting, the metal guy, if he went Super Saiyan, because he went Super Saiyan 1, or even when he was fighting the Saiyan. So you go, this is Super Saiyan 1, and then this is beyond.
Yeah.
Before he went to Super Saiyan 2, it would have been awesome there if he just went Super Saiyan 3.
I know, that's perfect, because he was sort of modelling
he was modelling everything about it. And it would have been just perfect, little segue into, okay, yes, he did achieve Saiyan 3. We're not going to visit it much, but okay,
if he ever does transform to Super Saiyan 3, obviously it's going to be a huge moment, but is it going to be it's not a big deal for him because he could do it all along. We just haven't seen it.
Yeah, I reckon it will be. And I reckon I'd be happy with that because it'll seem like after Boo, he has trained.
Yeah.
And he's seen Goku. I mean, at the end of Boo, he was sort of content with being second to Goku.
Yeah.
But I still reckon Vegeta would go, no, I've got to get to Super Saiyan 3.
Yeah, of course he would.
That's Vegeta in a nutshell. And...
I can't believe we just haven't seen it, There's been so much fan art.
Yes, and there's even in games. I remember Dragon Ball Z Tenkaichi Budokai 2.
3.
3.
Yeah, 3.
There was Broly Super Saiyan 3, but that's just fun. But there was always Vegeta Super Saiyan 3.
Yeah.
And I think at one point there was Gohan Super Saiyan 3, but that's not going to happen now.
I mean, look at the guy.
Yeah, exactly. But they did say he was training up after Frieza, and then nothing's happened. And it would just be so good if even Gohan went to Saiyan 3.
Yeah, I mean, but they showed episodes of Piccolo training with Gohan. It's like they've just forgotten about that now.
Yeah.
I literally thought, because that's when they went straight into the tournament arc, I thought that, Gohan would come along and...
I was annoyed with that they just went, oh no, I got a conference on bye.
Yeah.
And it was like,
see you later,
oh, come on.
It's got to be alluding to something. Gohan has to be in a battle before Super ends.
Yes,
he has
exactly.
To be. And he has to make a transformation.
Yes.
And he has to be strong,
Yeah. Or at least, I know contention about people calling it Mystic or Ultimate Gohan, but at least getting back to that strength level and then going Super Saiyan on top of that.
Yeah.
Because he never went Super Saiyan when he was Ultimate Gohan or Mystic Gohan, wherever you associate it with. And there was a lot of contention with, can he? But of course he can. All it's done is awakened more of his power.
Yeah.
And that's the whole thing about Gohan. Gohan seems like he has unlimited potential. And they've explored that all throughout Dragon Ball Z. What? Guru unlocked a portion. He couldn't unlock all of it. Then the old Kai, the old Supreme Kai, unlocked further to get into Mystic Kai. Goku unlocked him to get to Super Saiyan 2. I mean, you just keep seeing Gohan build up, and I think that's a fact of Akira Toriyama actually wanting Gohan to be the main character of Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah. Well, did you know Gohan was the only character to be in every single episode of Dragon Ball Z?
Yes.
Yeah. So
the other thing was Piccolo is actually only like 3 years older than Gohan. If you do it
oh,
at the time.
right, yep.
And it's really weird if you think about it that way. It's
Yeah.
like, well, you're training this guy and he's like, you're only 3 years older than him. But, yeah, I think they've missed a golden opportunity with Gohan just in Super that they could have gone, all right, let's start to bring Gohan back into it.
Yeah.
Get the 3
they've
Saiyans
had their
together.
options. It's
Yes.
just, it doesn't seem like it's going to happen anymore.
You get the 3 Saiyans together.
Yeah.
You don't worry about Goten or Trunks.
No.
Or even, like, you could do Gotenks and then sort of get Gotenks up to that level, but you don't need to worry about Goten or Trunks.
Another thing that surprised me is they haven't taken advantage of Goten and Trunks still being kids. They could have done a lot of sort of filler episodes with Goten and Trunks, getting up to mischief in other planets and all that.
Like Goku did in Dragon Ball.
Yeah, but it'd be bigger than, because they're obviously Super Saiyans now, they go to other planets kind of thing and get into trouble there, rather than being on Earth, because
they did that in one episode.
They did that, but they could extend so much with that. I mean, why else are they still kids? Why haven't they aged like 5 years? Why aren't they teenagers? If they're still kids, take advantage of that and do something.
Yeah.
They're these two really good characters that you haven't done anything with.
Yeah, they seem sort of just like throw-ins at this point.
Yeah.
And it's a bit like they're just there to sit there. Whereas even in the tournament arc,
they just sat there.
Yeah, he went Monica. Okay, I understand the reason why he put Monica in, but you went straight to Boo, and
they didn't help out with the Frieza battle either.
Yeah, and they could have easily done it. They're Super Saiyans.
The Super Saiyan 3 when fused.
Yeah, exactly. And they could have easily helped everyone deal with all these foot soldiers like Gohan was doing.
Yeah.
And I was a bit annoyed that it was just one hit to Gohan, but I
Oh,
understand.
that was... no.
But the other thing I hated, I liked that they brought Ginyu back into Super.
Yeah.
But Ginyu fought on par with Gohan.
It's ridiculous. It doesn't make any sense.
Ginyu unlocks the power of the body when he goes into it. There is no way that guy was as strong as Gohan when he was a Super Saiyan. Yes, maybe normal, not as a Super Saiyan. And even if
don't get me started how Frieza trained for certain
month,
period,
3 months,
and then he gets on par with Goku and Vegeta. Like, oh, please,
I know.
Please.
I honestly thought they were going to do a Cooler-like transformation for Frieza first. Because you know how Cooler had that extra form?
Yeah.
But again, I don't think that's canon. Again, it doesn't fit in.
And Akira, he wouldn't give a shit about anything to do with that.
No. I wouldn't mind them exploring Broly again, but doing it a bit better.
Yeah.
In Super. But I don't see how they would do that.
Broly's not canon either.
Yeah, so. I know, but the whole thing about Broly being another Super Saiyan on top.
Who's calling you? Well, the other thing that I wanted to mention as well, I said I had 2 disappointments. Okay, so this other thing is to do with Yamcha, Tien, and Chaozu.
And Krillin.
And Piccolo. And Piccolo even, yeah.
Everyone being
It's
so
just all about the
underpowered.
Saiyans now.
Yeah.
Like, at least maybe have a saga to do with them or something. Like, at least Tien. Tien's like one of the most
I know.
favorite.
He was on par with Goku. He was actually rival to Goku
beat
through
Goku.
all throughout all Dragon Ball.
Yeah.
And I understand it had to evolve and get stronger and stronger. But I don't see why, especially Tien being a mutant and all, why can't he get
Well,
stronger
this
and all
started
that.
in the Boo saga. I mean, Tien arrived late in the battle, and then he got knocked down with one kick.
hit. Yeah.
It makes sense.
Power-wise,
Power-wise, but like it's really disappointing. Like, have someone else come that Tien's on par with, so we can actually see a good fight with Tien.
Yeah.
You know, or even the others. You know, we got to see Piccolo fight Babidi, and did he fight Dabura or not? I don't think so.
He didn't fight Dabura.
But he
But yeah, Piccolo is at least still a bit relevant now when he did the fusion with Kami.
he does,
But not anymore. Again,
it doesn't even seem like he's a super Namek anymore. You know, when he was versing those foot soldiers and everything, he was struggling. It's just
and even when he was fighting Frieza from Universe 6, I forget his name.
Yeah, I don't know his name either.
And when he was fighting him, it's like he was getting the upper hand on him, but it still didn't seem like this guy was supposed to be as strong as Frieza was when Frieza was on Namek. Piccolo was as strong as 17 and Cell.
Yeah.
And Cell was a good 10, 15 times stronger than Frieza. He should have been. He should have destroyed him.
Sense.
Yeah.
But so they're saying that all these foot soldiers are on par with Imperfect Cell or Android 17.
And it just doesn't make sense.
Like, where were they when Frieza was on Namek?
Exactly. His whole army goes, oh, Frieza's fighting. Just leave him.
Yeah.
Like, that's not how Frieza works.
Yeah.
His whole empire was so afraid of him. And they would have come to his aid in a second because they would have just been that afraid of him. And I still do have contentions about that they've just so focused on Goku and Vegeta.
Yeah.
I'm glad that Trunks is getting more prevalent, like future Trunks, obviously, in the series. But again, I'm a little confused about blue hair. Especially, they did flashbacks back to DBZ.
Yeah.
He had blue hair.
Yeah.
In there, and I'm still thinking, no, that's not right.
There's a lot of holes that need to be filled, but too late for some of them.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh well, that's what happens with a show that's been going on for nearly 40 years.
Yes, and you got diehard fans that, like yourself and me, who have seen this thing front to back.
We probably know the original series better than Akira Toriyama at this moment. Like he probably hasn't watched it in a long time, you know, and he's probably just going on from what his advisors are saying, you know, who know it better than he does.
Yeah, and it's diehard fans like this that will find the smallest little thing in the storyline. And I mean, the story's still great, don't get me wrong. I love it. I love what they're doing with it. It's just these little things that keep popping up, and it's like it's just not melding correctly. And I don't know, but it's still going good.
Well, that was a good anime talk.
Yes,
Mostly about Dragon Ball Z, but we needed to get it out of our systems.
Yes, we certainly did.
I think we'll skip our topic that we were going to talk about.
Mainly because it was Dragon Ball Z related again.
Yes, there's more Dragon Ball Z. But we'll save it for another time. We're going to go straight into Nosh Shuffle. For those of you who don't know, Nosh Shuffle is a segment where, Jake and I originally made a list of 100 games from our childhood, and we have shuffled a bunch of those games up, and we will pick one of those to talk about. Now, Kiarn was around for, our entire childhood as well. So Kiarn knows all these games.
Yeah,
so
and I've certainly at least played a lot of them, or have seen Scott or Jake play them, or even others.
The game that has come up is Cruisin' World.
Cruisin' World? Ooh, I actually
do you know this one?
That. No.
Well, this one is a game that we actually rented out. How about we go for a different one?
Yeah, I think we might.
Okay. Yeah, this is a game that we just rented out a few times. So, oops, sorry. Okay, we're gonna get another generator up. Number 6
F-Zero X.
So we can talk about this one.
Yes, we certainly can.
Okay. F-Zero X. So this was originally on the Nintendo 64. This was a game that was liked so well that I didn't actually know what I had at the time, because there was one of my friends who lived right sort of near to us, next door pretty much. He had GoldenEye, I had F-Zero X, and all the time we traded because I thought GoldenEye was a lot better, and he loved F-Zero X. But yeah, the more I grew up and got older, I realized how much of a gem this game was.
Yes, it was certainly a racing game done right.
Yeah.
People who know me know I hate racing games. I'm not good at them. Mario Kart, I will always lose, basically. But this is the only racing game that I've loved to death, and I've been somewhat good at it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was just done right, all the characters. And for those of you who don't know, that's actually where Captain Falcon comes from.
That's his game.
So in Super Smash Bros, everyone plays Captain Falcon or someone like that.
Well,
but
it's weird. You don't actually play as Captain Falcon. You just play as his ship. You know.
yeah,
in the game.
you're his ship.
Yeah.
And Captain Falcon was just like a little insignificant dot in
just
the
a
ship.
drawing. You know.
Yeah.
You know him as a drawing.
Yeah, and half the time you never actually use Captain Falcon in the game anyway. But yeah, it was basically just a racing game done in space, basically, with fighter ships. And the music, the atmosphere, everything was just done so right. You could fall off edges, you could do all this stuff, and it was just a huge, nice competition.
We used to play the Death Rally a lot. Do you remember that?
Yes, I remember the Death Rally.
The aim of that was to kill every single other car. But sometimes it could take hours.
Yes.
Just because
one person could be halfway through the course and the other could be on the other half.
And you'd have to slowly catch up. But like the thing is, you can bump them as much as you want.
You take damage.
Yeah, you take damage. So you got to wait to get the energy bar, and then they could get the energy bar at the same time. So it was just the best way to do it was right at the beginning when the race starts. Try and take out as many as you can, because there's a big rush to get sort of out straight away.
Yeah. But yeah, it was just a brilliant game, and I'm almost certain, because we both had this on Nintendo 64 actually.
Yeah.
But I'm almost certain that you guys almost wore that game out.
Oh yeah.
On how much you had to, for anyone who hasn't played N64, you also had to blow the cartridge to put it in, and even on the back you zoom in, it says "Do not blow on the cartridge."
No one realised that.
No, but you'd have to blow 7 or 8 times. Come
on, that worked.
Yes, it certainly did. But yes, the amount, and even to this day, I'm still dreaming and hoping for an F-Zero sequel, because it would be
there's
amazing.
F-Zero GX, which is the sequel, but
that was what, on the
GameCube? Yeah, I never played it.
Neither did I.
Yeah.
But I think it's something they should bring back and bring forth as just a nice, great racing game for Nintendo.
Did you ever play Fast Racing Neo?
Oh, I've heard of it. I don't think I ever played it.
This was a game that came out last year, which is really similar. People sort of say it's a comeback to F-Zero X. Yeah. But again, it's not F-Zero X.
The whole thing about the F-Zero X, again, we've talked about music. The whole about Dragon Ball Z, about music and all that. Yeah. The music of F-Zero X was amazing.
I had the chance to play F-Zero X at the beginning of the year because it came out on the Wii U Virtual Console.
And Jake actually bought it, and I played it this year. Yeah. On his console.
So I sat there and watched him do a whole run through of F-Zero X, and it's as good as I remember, you know.
Exactly. And the funny thing is, I still remember all the courses. I still remember everything going through it, and it was amazing.
And when the music came on, you could sort of hum along to it.
Yeah, and
you know?
Just the and
the guy that speaks as well.
Yeah, you just, everything about it was awesome.
You knew the turns to take coming up.
Yes, exactly. And again, that's probably why I was so good. I remember all the courses. I knew exactly when to turn. But even, it wasn't about just navigating the race course. You bump into other cars, your energy goes down, you blow up. You've got to also navigate around your other cars, whereas like other racing games, yes, you can sort of blow up in some of them, but it's a lot harder to do that. But yeah, I reckon this was a racing game done right. It was perfect to every aspect. And a lot of the games back in the Nintendo 64 were brilliant. You never got a bug in it or something like that.
Jake and I speak about that all the time. And you know,
like F-Zero X, there was never an update. There was never DLC. Nothing.
You don't need.
You could play. I could still play that game now.
Yeah.
And enjoy hours upon hours and upon hours of
In
fun
saying that,
and enjoyment.
the games were much smaller,
Yes, the games were much smaller.
so there wasn't much room for failure or bugs or anything like that.
True. But yeah, it was just a brilliant game from my childhood, and obviously yours as well.
I mean, for the past couple of years, I've still been waiting for it to come out on the 3DS. You know?
Yeah, even if they did what they did with Ocarina of Time and Majora's
yeah,
Mask
yeah.
and what Star Fox 64.
Well, they could do that with all the Nintendo 64
Like
games. Like they
exactly.
they literally could. You know,
Yeah.
and they would be all sellers. Think about all the games that have been remakes from 64 games. They've
Yes.
all been successful.
Exactly. And F-Zero X, I don't know a single person who would not buy that game.
Yeah.
It would be brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Not even remastered.
Just a port.
put in.
Yeah. A port. Just like they have on the Wii U. Just put it so you can have it on the 3DS.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like you just match button A to button B or whatever. Like you
Because
just
it's a
button
small
match.
it's a small enough game that it makes sense to be on a handheld
Yeah.
rather than just playing it on your TV. You know.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, a mobile game. If you just have it on you,
Yeah.
when you're waiting for a bus or something, you just
Yeah.
pull it out and
Yeah,
you can just
you'd-
play a course.
You'd play, yeah, a course or
Yeah.
a track or something like that, and yeah, it was just. I don't know any other word, but it was just a brilliant game.
Yeah. So just like, I just want to, before we go, your thoughts on the new NES Classic that was announced. Have you heard about that?
No, actually,
No.
I haven't. No, so this
Okay.
is news to me.
All right. Well, strap yourself in, Kiarn.
Okay, I will.
The original NES console has been announced.
Oh yes, I have heard about
yeah.
this.
Okay. So you know. So
Yes.
it's like just fits in your hand.
Yes.
Little mini one. So it has 30 games
Inbuilt.
inbuilt.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, but this is only about $100.
Yeah.
Are you getting one?
I'm
Jake
not
and I
too sure
spoke
at the
about it
moment.
last week, and we
Yeah.
just said that we weren't kids when this came out. Like, this wasn't us. If it was Nintendo 64, then
I would get it
Oh,
hands
yeah.
down. I guess it would depend on the games for me, personally, because obviously if it had no game, and obviously these are all pre-programmed in,
yeah,
there's obviously probably a way to program in more or something like that.
I think this is sort of just a
Yeah,
thing
maybe.
that's sold, and it's just this.
Yeah, so sort of like rare replay game and all that sort of stuff. But I think it's a good idea. They need to execute it right.
Well, why I bring this up is because we didn't get a chance to speak about it last week, but Jake and I were sort of gonna list a bunch of, if they did bring out a Nintendo 64 version of this, what games would they have on it?
They obviously Mario's classic.
Mario, Zelda.
Yeah, Zelda.
But Zelda's been released on so many different things now.
True, but I reckon they'd have to put at least the original,
Yeah, yeah.
which would be great. Yeah, you just put all the classic games that you had.
Just the well-known ones that,
Yeah.
you know, Banjo.
No, Banjo was 64.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, Banjo
Yeah.
Kazooie. But if they
Oh,
brought out
on the 64 one, yeah.
Yeah.
Obviously,
But
again,
I don't know
talking
if
about
it-
F-Zero X.
I don't know if they
obviously
would be
that
allowed
on it.
Banjo Kazooie just because it's
Yeah,
Xbox
because it's
now.
part of Rare, so
Yeah.
that would be interesting. But there's so many other classic games. GoldenEye,
Yeah,
just
yeah.
not just pure GoldenEye, what it was.
Again, I don't know if they'd be allowed that as well.
True. Again,
That wasn't even allowed on Rare Replay.
Yeah,
so-
exactly. But F-Zero X, Pokemon Stadium, Pokemon Stadium 2,
Yes.
Pokemon Snap.
Yeah.
Could do all of that.
Yeah.
Could do so many games. Super Smash Bros.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3. Mario Party. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, 1, 2,
Just
3.
yeah, 1, 2, 3.
Sorry, got a bit carried away.
Now you're talking. Now,
Yeah.
now you're really
Like,
yeah.
all those games that we just rented out from Video Easy.
Do you know if they come out with that
As
would,
a 64.
that would sell more than the Wii U.
Yes, it would.
Yeah.
Certainly would. And again, you'd see Nintendo shares rise.
Yeah. Yeah. So this is a pretty smart idea to what they're doing.
I reckon.
It's bringing back all those gamers who never, who haven't been following gaming ever
Yes,
since they were
exactly.
kids.
And that was the same with what they've just done with Pokemon Go.
Yeah.
They brought back all these people who watched and played Pokemon as a kids, and they've gone, oh yeah, here's a phone app. Just play, and you've seen this huge increase in Nintendo stocks just because
Yeah.
of nostalgia factor.
Yeah.
And obviously, what this segment was just called.
That's right. Not shuffle.
Yeah. exactly.
My favourite segment of the show. It's actually the only segment we actually talk about games. So.
Oh, yes, true.
So yeah, we'll finish it there.
Yes, we certainly will.
Thank you for replacing Jake
That's
today.
all right. That's not a problem.
You know, I got to look at a much better looking person across the table.
Did.
So we'll probably get you on for another show as well very soon, maybe next week.
Yep.
I think Jake and I are recording maybe on Saturday, but you're not available then.
This Saturday.
Yeah, this Saturday.
No.
All right.
But I will be back, people.
Cool. All right, and we'll see you then.
Bye.